Okay. Well, welcome to all of you.
Welcome all of you. But I thought that Adela, weren't you going to start? You said you were going to say something.
I was going to say what, Thomas?
I don't know. You said you were going to present something at the beginning of the lesson.
Yes, Thomas. Yes. First of all, I would like to present what is uploaded on the platform. If I can show you, here I have it. Let's see if I can, because sometimes I have problems as regards the my sharing skills. Here they are. Well, dear students, this is the platform. Remember, you shouldn't pay attention to tablón. You should pay attention to trabajo de clase. There you will find the units. The units are unit 0 and preliminary, unit 0 and some articles, and the legal profession, first part. You should deal with this mandatory activity related to lawyers. Apart from that, you should deal with the introductory form in case you didn't do that. Yes, those two activities. Well, then after that, you have the second part of unit 1. Then you have here a mandatory listening activity with a text, and you should do that. And it has a deadline. Fecha de entrega, 15 de agosto. But it's a deadline all the time. And then you have the TOES document and the keys of the TOES document, and then another document from ILEC book and the keys for this document, persons in court. Then I have uploaded some of the material we are going to deal with today, which are, in my case, it is tips for oral advocacy and oral litigation, because I want to tackle the matter of oral litigation, and it has to do with persons in court, but from another perspective, from a proceedings perspective. Yes. So far, that's my presentation in relation to the classroom. Then later on, we will upload more contents from today and the recording of this lesson in this part, contents of the lesson. Okay. So I will, yes, I will stop this. Okay, and stop the recording. Are you sure? Yes. Now we started again. Now I'm going to deal with oral litigation, oral advocacy. Remember that nowadays, in Spanish, in our courts, in Argentina, we are shifting towards oral litigation all the time. There are oral litigation courses all the time related mostly to criminal law. But in one of these courses I attended, they told us, remember that we are coming for us. We are coming for the civil and commercial proceedings. They say that we are going to shift for oral litigation later on, for instance, in 5 years, in private law. So we are going to deal with oral litigation in private law later on in Argentina. They are thinking of that. That's why it's useful for us to think of how Anglo-Saxon systems deal with oral litigation. And since we understand English, it's better for us because we are going to understand how they do that in English. So first of all, I would like to share one of my here. For instance, this is a university in America, in Northern Carolina. The university is Duke Law, that's the name. And they, as advertisement, they say, well, this is live at Duke Law. This is Duke Law for all our students. And we deal with oral advocacy. They say oral advocacy and oral litigation. For instance, they give you some tips to oral arguments. For instance, structure and sequence, opening. And they say they train students to present a mock exam, a mock trial all the time. They train students to deal with oral litigation in the law school. And they say, well, you should prepare an opening, an introduction, a theme. You should bear in mind a roadmap in order to express yourself upon the court. And memorize, for instance, they say here, memorize your opening and your roadmap. The opening and the roadmap. The roadmap is like a chart with short ideas of what you are going to deal with during your speech, the order of your argument, and the conclusion. So all the time they prepare students to be oral presenters. For instance, here they say etiquette and style. For instance, they say, at all times, judges are to be referred to as Your Honor, respect and deference. Do not bring pens, pencils, loose watches with you to the podium. Limit shifting around an excessive hand gesture while at the podium. So they are preparing students even in relation to the gestures. Approach your arguments as a conversation with, not a lecture to the judges. A conversation with the judges, not a lecture. Not try to be showing off how much you know. You should conversate, you should chat with the judge. Engage in an exchange of ideas with the judges and respond to their concerns. Excellent. Prepare your oral argument and some more general tips. So I'm going to leave this this webpage in the classroom for you to read on later on. I think that is better if you take a little bit of time to read this and the tips that Duke Law, this university provide students. Are you seeing a map now? I have changed for a map.
Yes.
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 Well, I have searched for the university, and this is the university, Duke University School of Law. I'm not saying that it's a very good university. I don't know the university. I just know this page and with tips on oral advocacy, and I'm curious about where the Duke University is located. So there's Duke University. Okay, that's the tips on oral advocacy, and now I'm going to deal with a watching activity related to oral advocacy. Yes. So have you all got what I sent you, a PDF document? Let's see. Sorry. This one. Are you seeing the PDF document?
Yes.
Okay. So here they are. This is the assignment for this video. The video is related to oral advocacy on arguments in front of the court. They are. This is another student from. In fact, it is from Japan, I think, and he's talking about. He's talking in relation to a training course on oral advocacy. And I think that these two people that you are seeing there are actors, and they are preparing, they are acting out a trial, a hearing. And it's useful in order to get to know the vocabulary. So we are going to read the assignment. Maria Victoria, welcome. Welcome, Maria Victoria. I'm so glad to see you.
I'm sorry,
Hello,
it was a
hello.
little bit late.
Okay. Have you got this document I sent you through yes? Okay, okay.
Yes.
So I was telling you that we are going to watch a video, and the video is related to oral advocacy and oral litigation. Because, okay, you are going to read, every one of you, two of the questions. Maria, the first and second one. Oh, sorry, the first one is already done. Tell me.
The first one, listen to the
no,
video.
sorry. No, I'm not going to present this. Sorry, because this is the one. Let me see. The keys, no, this one. I was showing the keys. Okay, the first and second
No,
one.
but you're not showing, you're showing the YouTube page.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Sorry.
I was about to read the PDF
Yes.
document.
Okay. Let's see this. Okay. Are you seeing now the document?
Yes.
Okay. So the first and second one, Maria.
What is the name of the presenter? And two, today we will study how to arguments.
Now, Romy.
In sum, you will learn elements of a good, blah, 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 a brief review, and blah, blah, blah. You hope the tribunal to arrive at common.
Excellent, Romy, that you said tribunal. Excellent. Así.
Common, blah, 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 and in conclusion.
In conclusion, no in conclusión. Is the corrector. D.
How to end your arguments if blah, blah, blah does not allow for a complete blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And four.
And four, Romy.
Begin your blah, blah, blah with a brief review which reminds the judges of the blah, blah, blah of your case.
And now, Erika, 5.
5. Restate your party's position by telling the tribunal what you want them to make.
Erika, remember it's the tribunal. Yes?
Bien.
Okay, 6.
6.
In
In the example with actors, the claimant performed its obligations, blah, 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 the contract.
Okay. Now, Victoria. 7.
Yes. However, the respondent failed to blah, 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 its obligation by unjustifiably
Yes.
alleging blah, blah, blah,
Major. Yes. 8.
This speech should end with a polite blah, blah, blah.
Maria, 9 and 10.
Yes, in case you're running out of time, it's still a good idea to the end of your arguments. And 10, the actor says, then, Mr. President and members of the tribunal, this concludes my arguments on the issues.
Okay. Now we're going to present the video, and you have to tell me if whether you can listen to it.
Okay.
Are you seeing the person there with the YouTube video?
No.
No? Stop share. I share again. There. And now? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now we are going to test the sound. Let's see. Sharing. Let's see.
Thank you. After watching this episode, we hope you've learned how to keep.
Can you listen to it?
Sí, pero medio feo. Capaz que es de que se está escuchando de la computadora.
Espera, vamos a bajar esto. ¿Y cómo tengo? ¿Por qué hay un clic que hay que hacer? Siempre me pasa lo mismo. A ver el clic acá. Sharing options. Post. No. Y acá. Mute. No. Stop video. Video settings. Video settings. No. Audio. Test speaker. Ta. A ver ahí. Yeah, meetings. Bueno. Okay, let's see. Okay, ta. Camera, no. My video, no. A ver, ahora vamos a ver.
Include your arguments.
¿Se escucha?
Se escucha, pero sigue siendo de tu
Yes.
computadora, me parece.
Como un poquito cortado, parece. No sé.
Escucha, ¿cómo te... Porque hay un clic que hay por acá que hacer, pero nunca me acuerdo cuál es. A ver acá. A ver acá. Post recording spot, stop recording reactions. Share sound. A ver ahora, vamos a ver ahora.
Ahí está.
Era eso, share sound. Pero nunca sé cómo lo hago. Después la próxima me voy a volver a olvidar. Ok.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Eric, and this is the Quick Guide to Oral Advocacy. Today, we'll study how to conclude arguments so that you can end your arguments effectively. In particular, you'll learn elements of a good conclusion, a brief review and decisions you hope the tribunal will arrive at, common signposts, in conclusion, to conclude, concluding, how to end your arguments if time does not allow for a complete conclusion. Begin your conclusion with a brief review, which reminds the judges of the essence of your case. It's important that the review is in line with your case theory. Then, succinctly restate your party's position on the dispute by telling the tribunal what decisions you want them to make as a result of your submissions. Let's have a look at how HARP concludes the substantive issues on behalf of the claimant.
Concluding, Mr. President and members of the tribunal, the claimant performed its obligations under the contract by delivering the tobacco products and the subsequent merchandise. However, the respondent failed to perform its obligations by unjustifiably alleging a force majeure. As such, the claimant submits that it is entitled to liquidated damages under the distribution agreement, and there will be no risk of an enforcement of such an award if given. Thank you.
In the example, HARP first signals the beginning of his conclusion with the signpost concluding. You could use alternatives like in conclusion and to conclude. HARP then gives a brief review of the essence of the case, in line with the case theory that we saw in episode 3. Next, he restates the claimant's position, highlighting the remedy sought before wrapping up with a polite thank you. In case you're running out of time, it's still a good idea to quickly signal the end of your arguments. Let's see how HARP manages to end his speech calmly under time pressure. Learn the lines by heart.
Mr. President and members of the tribunal, this concludes my arguments on the substantive issues. Thank you.
After watching...
Okay. Up to this point. Have you completed the assignment? Or would you like to listen to?
Can we hear again?
Again, please.
Yes,
Okay.
again, please.
Okay. Again.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Eric, and this is the quick guide to oral advocacy. Today, we'll study how to conclude arguments so that you can end your arguments effectively. In particular, you'll learn elements of a good conclusion, a brief review and decisions you hope the tribunal will arrive at, common signposts, in conclusion, to conclude, concluding. How to end your arguments if time does not allow for a complete conclusion. Begin your conclusion with a brief review, which reminds the judges of the essence of your case. It's important that the review is in line with your case theory. Then, succinctly restate your party's position on the dispute by telling the tribunal what decisions you want them to make as a result of your submissions. Let's have a look at how HARP concludes the substantive issues on behalf of the claimant.
Concluding, Mr. President and members of the tribunal, the claimant performed its obligations under the contract by delivering the tobacco products and the subsequent merchandise. However, the respondent failed to perform its obligations by unjustifiably alleging a force majeure. As such, the claimant submits that it is entitled to liquidated damages under the distribution agreement, and there will be no risk of an enforcement of such an award if given. Thank you.
In the example, HARP first signals the beginning of his conclusion with the signpost concluding. You could use alternatives like in conclusion and to conclude. HARP then gives a brief review of the essence of the case, in line with the case theory that we saw in episode 3. Next, he restates the claimant's position, highlighting the remedies sought, before wrapping up with a polite thank you. In case you're running out of time, it's still a good idea to quickly signal the end of your arguments. Let's see how HARP manages to end his speech calmly under time pressure. Learn the lines by heart.
Mr. President and members of the tribunal, this concludes my arguments on the substantive issues. Thank you.
After watching this episode, we hope you've learned how to conclude your arguments. Include a brief review of the essence of the case and decisions you want the tribunal to arrive at.
Okay. How was it? Can we
Good.
go through the agreement?
Yes.
Interesting or not? Was it interesting?
Yes.
Yes,
It was.
yes. I have really bad time,
What, María
so
Victoria?
I heard little cat.
Que tiene mala señal.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you. Okay.
I have bad
well,
internet right now. Sí.
okay, it happens all the time.
Cortado.
Okay. Okay. Well, what is the name, María Victoria? Could you grasp the name of the presenter?
It
Oh,
was frozen.
okay. Camila, are you there, Camila?
Yes, Eric.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Camila. How are you? Fine?
Hello, I'm fine.
Hello. Could you take the a little bit of the video, Camila?
Yes, I watched the whole video, but I couldn't hear some parts because I don't have a very good internet.
Oh,
I wrote that the name was Eric.
Oh, excellent. So the first one, the name was Eric. Second one, Erika. Today we will study how to
Conclude.
conclude arguments. Concluding arguments, yes. In sum, Maria, you will learn elements of a good,
conclusion.
yes. B,
A brief review and decisions you hope the tribunal to arrive at, I think.
yes, that's it, yes. And C, common.
I didn't hear that. Common.
I don't remember.
Me neither.
Signpost.
Yes. Common signposts. Signposts. Signposts es como los señaladores. Los señaladores, los remarcadores del discurso. ¿Sí? Remarcadores del discurso.
¿Cómo se escribe?
Sign, S-I-G-N, signposts, pero todo junto. Signposts. Y en lingüística se llama marcadores del discurso. Eso, signposts. Marcadores del discurso. Cuando decimos, en primer lugar voy a decir tal cosa, luego voy a decir tal otra, a renglón seguido voy a decir tal otra, y muy importante voy a decir, señor juez, tal otra. Son remarcadores del discurso. Signposts.
¿Se escribe todo junto o separado?
Todo junto, todo junto.
Ujú.
Signposts. Sign, como sign de signo o de firma. Signposts. Well, common signposts. Y ahí dice, in conclusion, conclusively, or to sum up, o algo así. Esos son los signposts. D, how to end your arguments if, María?
If time does not allow for a complete conclusion.
Conclusion, because we are talking about conclusions. Okay, and María Victoria, could you grasp number 4?
Yes. Begin your conclusion with a brief review, which reminds the judges of that's, I don't get it, of your case.
Of the
Essence.
essence.
Mhm.
Essence. Well, my theory was assets, but probably it's the essence. Yes, you're right. It's not assets, but essence. Okay, 5. Erika. Restate.
Restate your party's position by telling the tribunal what decision you want them to make.
Okay, Romy 6.
The claimant performed its obligations under the contract.
Under the contract, because that's a collocation. You should say the obligations under the contract. En español sería las obligaciones que surgen del contrato, las obligaciones del contrato, but in English es como si fueran las obligaciones debajo del contrato. Obligations under the contract. You shouldn't say obligations from the contract. From the contract or of the contract, no. It's obligations under the contract. Well, 7. Camila, could you grasp number 7? However?
No, I couldn't.
Okay, Maria, number 7.
Yes. However, the respondent failed to perform its obligations by unjustifiably alleging a force majeure.
Force majeure, no a force majeure. Force majeure.
I heard
Alleging
a
force
force.
majeure.
Okay.
Force majeure. Alleging force majeure. You know that force majeure, que se escribe force con C, force majeure. Force majeure es como la fuerza mayor y alegar fuerza mayor. It's the same as in Spanish, but it comes from French. Okay, and 8, Maria Victoria.
The speech should end with a polite thank you.
Okay, 9, Maria Victoria.
Yes. In case you are running out of time, it's still a good idea to qualify. I didn't hear the end of your argument.
Argument. Still a good idea to
Something with glitter.
No, to
Quickly,
yes, to
signally. Signally, I heard something like that, but I don't know. Signally, I heard, but I don't know what it is.
the end of your argument. Let's see. I have the keys here. Okay, let's see.
Use sign
Oh, no.
such as
No. Let's see, keys. Quickly. To signal. Signal the end of your arguments.
No,
Yes.
signal. Okay.
Yes. Or signal, probably.
what does that mean?
No, she said signal.
Signal. Well, sí,
Quickly.
y es lo mismo que la signposts. Remarcar. The end of your arguments. establecer un remarcado para empezar a dar el the end of your arguments. Number 10, Victoria, the actor says.
I do it. I couldn't.
Okay, and Erika,
Substantive.
what, Erika?
Substantive.
Ah,
¿Se escucha?
substantive, yes, substantive issues. Yes, you're right. Okay, I think that's all for now. Our listening activity on oral advocacy has ended. I will post all of this on the platform. And now it's the turn of Thomas, and that's going to deal with the, I don't know, Thomas is going to sign all the arguments of Thomas precisely. But now I'm going